The reason why you need to be using classes is two things. Number one, a class tells you how much income you got from any specific program. So for example, my Chai Club doesn't really cost me anything. I don't have any overhead for my Chai Club, but I want to know how much money do I have coming in if nothing else, if I'm not doing any work. And so it's very simple. I just go into QuickBooks and I create a report called based on the class of Chai Club. How much money came in this month or last month or this year from my Chai Club, and that's how I know this is income that I can just depend on because it's coming in regardless of me doing any fundraising. Now, a second reason that you're going to want to use classes is for something called a profit and loss report. Profit and loss report you can use twice. One, you may use a profit and loss report just to know at the end of the year how your company is doing, how your Chabad is doing. It will tell you in very, very simple terms, in 10 lines, it can show you how much income you brought in, your gross income, and then what your expenses were, and then what your net income or net loss was. Now, if you're tracking by classes, instead of just being able to make a profit and loss report of your whole year, you can actually make a profit and loss report on any specific program. So for example, you can decide to make a profit and loss report on your Pesach Seder, that between the donations that came in specifically for your Seder and the amount that you charged as opposed to how much you spent on it, you can know whether you need to be charging more next year or less. I'm going to tell you one more little thing that I did with classes, which was very, very simple. We pay $150 extra in our calendar to send out an envelope that goes into each calendar, and the people send back donations in that envelope. So when donations came in those envelopes, I put it into my system and I put a class called calendar. It was a contribution that came from the calendar, because anybody that's putting an ad in my calendar, that's the item for that would be an ad, and then the class would be calendar. But any contribution that's coming from the calendar, that I know is a donation that's coming not because someone is advertising, but because someone is thanking us for sending them a calendar. Now, after a couple of years, we decided to run a profit and loss report on our calendar showing how many donations were coming in because of the calendar. And it happened to be that we only had about $50 or $60 coming in as donations just because of the calendar. Many of the people appreciate the calendar and they donate anyways, but people that sent in donations because of the calendar, it was only $50, $60. And that's why we decided that we're going to stop paying the $150 for the envelopes. Lo and behold, the next year there was only one person that used to send donations in the envelope that was part of the calendar and didn't send it. Everybody else sent donations in their own envelope, and the guy that we missed out was only a $10 donation. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a profit and loss report in QuickBooks.